WSIE 88.7, The Sound. Hey, it's easy in the afternoon, and you know what time it is. It's the Celebrity Sit-In, and right now, on the Celebrity Hotline, I have the one and only Mrs. Ragan Whiteside. Ragan, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I appreciate you coming on the show. First, let me say belated Happy New Year and happy birthday to you as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And Happy New Year to you as well.
I appreciate it. Hey, let's jump right into it and chop it up. You started off at a young age, a very young age, playing instruments. How did you end up settling on playing the flute?
You know, I didn't, and this is going to sound terrible, I did not want to play the flute, believe it or not. I wanted to, there was a parade that went through the town that I grew up in. I'm from Mount Vernon, New York. And all of the elementary school bands, they had band day, and all the bands would march through the city, and I really wanted to be in this parade, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna play the drums. You know, when the band teacher came through to recruit, I want to play the drums. Well, you know, all the boys wanted to play drums, and we don't have enough, and we want to make sure there's enough. I said, okay, well, I'll play something else. How about trumpet? And they're like, we're out of trumpets. Okay, well, what do you have left? And they said, we have a clarinet and we have a flute. I was like, well, I'll take the flute. And, you know, it took me a week to get a sound out of it. Everybody else on the block, all the kids could get, you know, a sound, not me. And, but finally I got a sound, and I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. And I started playing more, and I started to like it, and the rest is history.
Right. You know what? You made me flash back, because in grade school, that's exactly how I ended up starting to play the flute. But I struggled with it so bad trying to get a sound out of it. The next semester, I told my teacher, I was like, you know what? I'm going with the saxophone, and I stuck with that all the way through high school. So other than, I know you play the drums, any other instruments that you play?
You know, I play just about everything. The music was just playing instruments. It was like my toy. I like playing everything. And so every summer I would learn a different instrument. So I know enough to be able to teach a kid how to play something. So, I mean, I played the baritone, I played sax, I played trumpet, cello, violin. I picked up timbales a couple of years ago. I got a bass for Christmas, a bass guitar, electric bass for Christmas. So I'm learning that. I'm really excited about that. So I know enough to, you know, I'm comfortable with the timbales enough to play them during a gig. And I also play piano, but I wouldn't play that during a gig. You don't want to hear me play piano on a show, trust me. So I usually I play enough to be able to write and to produce. But yeah, I love instruments, man. I really it just gives me joy.
That is great. Anybody that inspired you to become a musician?
I guess my first real exposure was with my uncle, Kenny Whiteside, and he was a singer, and he sang just about everything, but he also played drums. And I remember going over to his house when I was, you know, really, really little. One of my earliest memories is sitting behind his drum set and just wearing out these drums, and somebody coming over to me, yanking the drumsticks out of my hand and replacing them with brushes. I must have been about 3. This is one of my earliest memories. And he sang with the Cleftones, the doo-wop group. Okay. And he was also making his own solo records out of his house before it was popular. You know, everybody does it now, but right. He was doing it back in the day when, you know, that's not what you do. And so that also piqued my interest in the studio side of things. So I would say he's the one who really, you know, exposed me to it first.
Okay. And I was expecting you to say somebody like Prince or so that. Now,
Well, I mean, there was always music in the house, so
right,
I was listening to everybody.
right. Now, do you think any of your kids will aspire to be musicians? Are you teaching them?
I'm not. I'm not pushing them into music because it's a hard life. But
Right.
they definitely they've got it. Let's put it that way. My son, he will play drums and pick out songs on the piano. He's almost 6, and our daughter, she does the same thing, and she's just turned 4. So it's always around. They see it and they don't. They love being in the studio. They like jamming out, but
Right.
will they pursue this seriously? I don't know. Time will tell.
One day maybe we'll see a family collaboration.
That would be cool. I wouldn't be mad. If they want to do it. I am 100% supportive, but I'm not going to push them into it.
Right. Speaking of collaborations, you have been killing the charts with Kim Scott with "I'm Every Woman." I love that rendition, by the way. I play that on the show all the time.
Oh, thank you.
Is there anyone else that you would like to work with?
Oh man, that I haven't worked with yet. I would love to work with 480 East. That's definite.
Okay.
Yeah, and let's see, Jill Scott. I would love to work with.
Okay.
Take 6. Lindsay Webster. Oh, there's so many people. Music is just. I would love to work with pretty much everybody.
Hey, so you and I, we have something in common. We both are radio DJs. Tell everybody where you are on our personality.
Yeah, I'm on Atlanta's jazz station, 91.9 WCLK, on Saturdays, every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and I'm loving it. I've only been doing it a little over a year, but and I'm learning so much, and it's really interesting to see the other side of music, because when you're an artist, you're constantly trying to get your music on the air, and how to get it on the air and all that stuff.
Right.
I see that from the artist side, but then I feel like I'm seeing behind the curtain.
Right.
And it's like, oh, so that's really how it goes. So
right.
It's been an education, but I really, really love being an on-air personality. It's great.
You have been bitten by the radio bug, as I call it.
I have. It bit me hard, too.
Hey, we are talking with Ragan Whiteside. Right now, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to, you know what? Let's play "I'm Every Woman" with Ragan Whiteside and Kim Scott. You're listening to Easy in the Afternoon on WSIE 88.7, The Sound.
This is Ragan Whiteside, and you're listening to Easy in the Afternoon with Eric Easy E. Smooth on WSIE 88.7, The Sound.
WSIE 88.7, The Sound. Hey, it's Easy E Smooth in the house, and I am talking it over with Ragan Whiteside on the Celebrity Sit-In. Ragan, you have the album Off the Cuff that's hitting the charts, burning it up. Tell us a little bit about how you came up with that album that was released last year. How'd you come up with that concept?
Well, Off the Cuff, it's actually a single that's going to be on my new album that's coming out this year. And it was just one of those songs. Sometimes a song will take forever, and I mean, it is, sometimes a song will take a year to really come together, but this one just seemed to write itself, and it was like, and that's where Off the Cuff came about, because it was like, it just happened so fast. I think we did the whole song in like a day or two. It did not take long at all.
Okay.
From conception to like final mix. It was so fast. And so it was like off the cuff, and it came out really naturally, and it just felt good, and it was fun working on it.
Now, do you have a release date for that CD?
It's going to be sometime in May.
Okay.
And it's called Thrill Ride, the new album.
Okay. Please let us get a copy so we can drop that for you. I love
absolutely.
Now, your husband, he's a producer as well.
Yes.
Are you guys going to be producing anyone new, or do you have any projects in the pike with any other artists coming up?
Yes, actually. So my husband and I, Dennis Johnson, we formed Randis Music for the sole purpose of putting out, my solo albums. And we started that in 2007. And finally we said, you know what, it would be kind of cool to see if we could, kind of try our hand out on somebody else, see if we can, put somebody else out. And so our very first artist that we signed is Rob Zinn. He's a trumpet player, and he has a new single coming out January 24th.
Ooh,
and that's when it hits radio.
Okay.
And I'm a guest artist on that song. The song is called Push It Forward. And we're really, really excited. We met Rob out in Mallorca, in Spain during, I guess in the before COVID. And we really hit it off, and we were just so impressed with his playing and his musicianship, and and a nice guy on top of that. And so we wanted to work together, and here we are a couple of years later, and this song is coming out, and I'm excited, I'm scared, it's everything, but I'm more excited than anything else. But
right. Well, your husband, he's produced Avril Lavigne, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
He did some work with her, did some work with Celine Dion, and he's worked with so many people, Melba Moore,
right,
Phil Perry. I can't even go through the whole list.
I saw the entire I saw a long list.
Mm-hmm,
so you're in good hands.
Oh yes, absolutely. I've learned a lot from him.
So what's next? You got a tour or anything coming up this year?
Yeah, well, with COVID, where it's like a lot of starts and stops and postponements and whatnot. We're trying to get it together, but it's tough. But I will be updating my website soon with what I know to be true as of today.
Great. Oh, well, hopefully you will be coming to St. Louis.
It's in the works. It's definitely in the works.
Great. I would love to come down and see you perform and meet you in person. Tell us, how can everyone follow you? Where are you on social media?
Oh, I'm on Ragan Whiteside on Instagram, Ragan Whiteside Music on Facebook. I'm on Twitter every now and then, but that's Ragan Whiteside. And you can check out my website at RaganWhiteside.com.
Let me ask you a quick question. How often do you get on social media and interact yourself personally? Because I always find it so cool when I see other artists that interact with their fans. How often do you do that?
I try to do it every day. It's tough. I do have 2 small kids and all this stuff going on, but I try to interact at least once a day, and I will try to get to everyone that messages me at least within the week. I try anyway. But it's that is a full-time job in and of itself.
I agree. Ragan, I appreciate you coming on the show. Anytime you have any music that you'd like, we definitely will play anything that you want to drop on us, for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, Ragan Whiteside. Hey, right now, I'm going to drop another tune from the Off the Cuff album. As a matter of fact, let's drop the title song, Off the Cuff, right here on WSIE 88.7, The Sound.